While we are on the way to the Tugu Negara, the guide was in full of praise of Netaji Subhash Chandra Bose, who had a great role in motivating the Indian Malaysians in the fight for freedom.
Netaji Subhash Chandra Bose, my blood, my soul, everything goes to him. Even now, okay, we Malaysians are, most of the Malaysians are, they all love Subhash Chandra Bose. In Malaysia, the giant Subhash Chandra Bose. The last batch, another 20,000 came down. There's one leader for them. They told Subhash Chandra Bose, we don't want to use the machine gun, we don't want to use the shotgun, everything. We want to go as a first to be a suicide bombers. Subhash Chandra Bose really tears fall. You see the spirit of the Malaysian Indian who joined the army. Okay, so they want to about to attack the India. Japan also did that railway track country. So Chinese in Malaysia, they formed the Communist Party. Okay, don't play with the Indian National Army. No one can beat our Indian National Army. They are practically the very high spirit armies in the world. Okay, so we want to clear the communists in the forest and out. It's very tough. Even though all the Commonwealth country came into my country to clear the communists, they really cannot.
This is the parking place. From here, you have to walk about 100 meters to reach near the National Monument. The Malaysian Parliament is also just about 500 meters from here. This is the first version of the current national monument. This centaur was originally built by the colonial British administration in memory of the sacrifices by the fallen British and Malaysian soldiers in World War I, and their names were inscribed on it. Later on, name of the soldiers from the World War II were also added in inscription after the conclusion of World War II and reception of the British rule. Do you know that this centaur was not originally built at this place? In year 1964, it was moved from the lake gardens to here by dismantling this structure. This monument is featured on several Malaysian 1 ringgit banknotes issued between year 1982 and 1989. Now we are going to the new national monument, which is also the world's tallest bronze freestanding sculpture grouping. The Malaysian National Monument, locally known as Tugu Negara, which is also a historic place built in memory of those who died in Malaysian struggle for freedom, mainly in the World War II against the Japanese occupation and Malayan Emergency from year 1948 to 1960. Now you can see this structure. The Malaysian National Monument is placed in a park surrounded by water bodies from all sides, and the entrance gate is made of Islamic style of architecture, and good amount of royal golden color is used in this complex. Here on 31st July each year, that is the Warriors Day, the Malaysian Prime Minister, head of the Malaysian Armed Forces and the Royal Malaysian Police pay their respect to the fallen heroes. Malaysian flags can be seen throughout the park. Apart from the flag, you can also see the national flower hibiscus in this park. Now you might have noticed that this structure looks similar to the US Marine Corporation's War Memorial structure because it is designed by the same designer, Felix D. Weldon, who also has designed the US Marine structure. During his visit to the United States, in October 1960, the Malaysian Prime Minister was inspired by the US structure and had personally requested Felix for design of the monument for Malaysia. Do you know that this place is a protected area between sunset and dawn because there was a terrorist attack on this place and the structure has suffered extensive damage due to the explosion on 27 August 1975. If you look closely, this sculpture has 7 figures. 5 of the figures represent the victorious Allied forces, while 2 figures that lie on the ground represents that of the defeated communist forces. Just like the King's Palace and Merdeka Square, there is no entry fee to this park. Merdeka Square is just 2.1 kilometers from here and Tugu Negara is 3 kilometers away from National Palace. So you can cover all these places easily. As for me, It is a good place to see the place of national importance and photograph yourself with the national monument, which has rich connection with Malaysian independence. But if you are tight on time, you may skip it or do a quick visit. It is interesting how the guides show us the places of Malaysian history within the city as our first destination. In the next video from this series, we will see our visit to Harrison Chocolate Factory outlet, which was our last destination on the first day.